Okay, awesome students, welcome back to Knowledge Now. And in this lesson, I want to go ahead and go over what is the difference between an employee and a boss. So we are working towards graduating high school. That's the reason why we're here. Otherwise, you should have left. But if you're here, you're trying to work towards graduating from high school to get that credential in order to literally, it's really, if you're here, you might as well be going towards college if you're going to be. Otherwise, you should already be out and be working on whatever purpose you have in life and not waiting on the age of 18 or for a teacher or for a piece of paper to say that you're ready. You should be working on that now. So everybody who is, spending your time in school and doing these things, that's because you are still seeking training in a direction, or you're still seeking to find out what your purpose is in life. So, and part of that in this course is career oriented. So to help you understand your different options you have available for you to sustain yourself in this world, and also, fulfill your personal and spiritual needs as you grow as a person. So part of the structure of business and creating income is working, and that's one facet of it, is working. So within that facet of working or working for someone else, that dynamic of what a business is, that's just being busy creating a big mess, but getting things done. So who is an employee? And this is from patriotsoftware.com. And this is an incredible article to help open up your eyes to what exactly an employee is. I found it pretty fascinating, so I wanted to share it with you. If you want to visit them, you can go to patriotsoftware.com/blog/payroll/who is an employee/ so Kaylee DeWitt posted this article in 2018. It's still relevant today. Who is an employee? Now, what makes one worker an employee and another not an employee? It can be confusing to determine which is which, but it's essential that you understand the difference. So let's take a look at who is an employee. I'm gonna blow this up a little for y'all. Okay. Who is an employee? An employee is someone you hire and pay for their work, which you use to benefit your business. But not all workers you hire and pay are employees. You must determine the worker's classification. So off the bat, if you are an employee working for someone else, your job is to be paid for your work to help benefit their business. So I'm going to say that one more time. And it's right here. An employee is someone you hire and pay for their work and have behavioral, financial, and relational control over. So if you are an employee, they will pay you. They will hire you on. But in return, they have control over you, the way you behave, how much money you make, and the relationships you have. So that's an employee. A lot of people get blinded by that pay and not realize what they're giving up in return. So it's just something to think about. If you don't mind someone controlling how you act, what time you wake up, what you wear and how you move, if you don't mind someone else controlling how much money you make, and if you don't mind someone controlling the relationships you have, then then an employee is top. That's the thing. There it is. It's easy peasy, because there are so many different companies and businesses that need someone with your particular skill sets in order to expand and grow and scale in their business. When you are determining a worker's status, you must consider your control over them. If you have great control over the worker, they are probably an employee. So if you have great control over the worker, they are probably an employee. To help you examine control, you can use the 3-part test from the IRS called the Common Law Rules, and the 3 parts are explained here. Okay, behavioral control. Do you control or have the right to control what the worker does and how the worker does their job? If so, the worker might be an employee. Financial control. Do you have control? Do you control the business aspect of the worker's job? This includes things like how the worker is paid, whether the expenses are reimbursed, and who provides tools and supplies. If you control the business aspects, then the worker might be an employee. Types of relationships. Are there any written contracts or employee type benefits? These include things like recruitment plans, insurance, and vacation and sick pay. Will your relationship with the worker continue? Is the work performed for a key aspect of your business? If your answer is yes to these things, then the worker might be an employee. You must consider all 3 parts of the test. One factor doesn't weigh more than the other. Also, there are not a set number of factors that a worker needs to meet to be considered an employee. For example, a worker might only meet 2 parts of the test and still be classified as a common law employee. Use your best judgment. Okay, so this is a mouthful. Okay, let's look at this. Employee hours. The number of hours someone works does not matter when determining if someone is an employee. You can have a full-time, part-time, or temporary employees. Employees might work for a few hours or as many hours per week. And they might work for your business for years or as little as 1 day. So the time doesn't matter. But right now, we're still seeing that the behavior, the financial, and the types of relationship that you have. If you are under someone in all 3, you're an employee. If you, like I said, the opposite of employee. So if a worker is an employee, then what are they? Workers who are not employees are classified as independent contractors. In my opinion, you want to be an independent contractor. An independent contractor is someone who runs their own business and performs work for another business. You don't have behavioral, financial, or relational control over the contractor. That is a huge difference in the type of control that you have in your life. So as an employee, you have pretty much no control. As an independent contractor, you have all the control. Okay, so the importance of correctly classifying employees. You don't want to mix up employees with contractors. There are important differences and implications for not classifying correctly. You need to know the definition of an employee for tax purposes. We're going to get into that heavy. You're getting taxed on everything. That's why 99-cent burgers $1.08. You got sales tax. You have so many different types: Social Security, local, state, federal income, Medicare. You got taxes out the wazoo. You will be taxed. So if you own a business, or if you're working for someone else and you're filing your taxes, this stuff is information you need to know. As the employer, you must also pay employer taxes because based on the employee's wages. So Social Security, Medicare. As an employer, you are the person who employs the employee. You are the boss. So an independent contractor for their business, say this person, let me give you a good real world example. Okay, say you have a business teaching. we'll just use my occupation. So you say you are a school district, and then you have students going in the classroom. You have teachers. The teachers are employees. The principals are employees. Everybody under the superintendent are employed by Aldine Independent School District, including the superintendent. So everybody's under the umbrella of Aldine ISD, which is under the umbrella of Texas Educational Agency. So we're all of those are employees underneath that umbrella. So superintendent, principals, teachers, all the way down to y'all. Really, 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 because y'all gotta clock in every single day. That's why they get paid for attendance. So if you don't come to school, there's a truancy officer that's gonna come knock on your door. So, because you are part of the system, that's why you have a student ID number. I have a teacher employee ID number that I clock in with, and you have a student ID number that you get accounted for with attendance. So you see the business. So all of us are employee, and I don't have any control, really, really, really. I ain't trying to control. But, in theory, the hierarchy, principals, superintendents have control over the campuses have control over the teachers have control over the students, and the students are running around with no control, ready to just lose it. And it is insane. But y'all have control over each other within your whole dynamics and hierarchies in your relationships or whatever. So, but that's why sometimes people lose it, because it's like they don't have any control, and they go home and they don't have any control, and it's just like, wow, I can't live with it. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. But so say that the superintendent wanted to remodel one of their buildings. So they hire on a contracting agency. It just so happens to be a contractor, but we say a painter or a landscaper. So they come out, they do their job, but the person doesn't have behavioral, financial, or relational control. There's a contract. That person is going to pay for that service and probably pay it up front. So there's no financial issue because they already got the money. The contractor gets the money. All they have to do is go perform the service, and then they have their own terms in which they can't tell them, hey, well, I want you to paint with your left hand and only backwards and these kind of strokes. It's like, nah, I'm going to come paint this place. I know how to paint. I'm an independent contractor. I'm knocking it out. So then that person's an independent contractor. But that independent contractor can hire an employee, you see, to manage their social media platform so that they can get more leads and more customers. So that independent contractor has their own business to where they have someone who works underneath them that they control, that they make work all day. And then, that helps drive their business. So I know that was a mouthful. And then there are some other contractors pay their own taxes. You will not withhold taxes from contractors' wages. So whenever the school district pays the painters or the landscapers or any builders or whatever, they pay them what they charge. So if they say, hey, well, it's $1,000 to paint, they're not gonna say, okay, here's $1,000, but we're gonna take out taxes for your Social Security, for your Medicare, for your federal and state unemployment, because they don't have those rights to take those taxes out because they're not employees. They are independent contractors. So they can't take their rights away. They can't tax them. They have to pay them the full $1,000. You get it? Whenever I get paid, what do you think taxes come out for me? As an employee, I get taxed. When I get paid, I don't get paid my whole check. I get taxed. Any other person who's an employee for a company, they tax me for my federal, they tax me Social Security. Social Security is for, basically whenever I'm super old, they're taking money out to save so I can live on it when I'm in my late 60s. So they're like, you know what, we'll help you manage your money for later. So that's your Social Security tax, which ain't guaranteed at this point. And Medicare is if I get sick or something. So these are and unemployment, and that's if I lose my job going crazy. So then they're like, okay, we're gonna take a little bit of money out just in case you lose your mind and we have to fire you. So it's like, okay, thanks. Contract. When you have employees, you must also pay for insurances. This might include workers' compensation insurance and state disability insurance. So if I lose my mind working here and I get on disability, then they're taking out money, the insurance to help cover me during that time. So if I'm unorganized and unable to see, the bosses or the independent contractors, they have to they got to take their own money and set it aside for their future, for their security when they get older. They have to set money aside for in case they get sick. They have to set money aside in case they they don't have enough money. So as an independent contractor or a boss, it's up to you to be more organized. You have to run your own business. If you're not willing to be organized, then your best bet is to be an employee, because you need someone to make sure that you get some money. You need someone to make sure that you can survive. So that's what you're being trained to do. You can be trained to be an employee and have someone take care of you with a lot of control over your life. Or you can make sure that you are in control of your life, live out your purpose, and be an independent contractor, small business owner, or a large business owner, and you don't have to worry about someone controlling you. So, as a boss, this is what you'll do for your employees. So whenever you pay someone who's working for you, you're taking out these things for them, because you're helping manage their money. You're helping manage their money so that they, in the event that they can't handle things in life, that they'll have something to fall back on. And legally, you're required to, because if someone's working for you, it's obvious that they can't manage their own money. And I'm saying that as an employee I'm an employee and a boss. I have my own businesses too. But I didn't know any of this at first. And I'm glad that whenever I was going through this journey, I had someone there who was thinking about these things that I needed to be looking into. It cost me a lot of money because they're taxing it. They're taking it out. So I'm not getting the money I'm thinking I'm going to earn each month, because it's being stashed away in different areas. But I was young and I didn't understand which way was up. And without these things, I would have been in a way worse shape, because I didn't grow up under the assumption that I could be an independent contractor. I went through what you're learning right now. Go to school, go to college, get a job. So you have a choice now to say, you know what? That's cool. I'm comfortable with that. If this is what you're comfortable with, it's less barrier of entry, because we as business owners, we're always looking for more help. Once you become a business owner, whenever you're an employee, you exchange your time for money. So you're spending time working to earn money. So someone will hire you to pay you for your work. So you're spending time to make money. When you're a business owner, when you're an employer, you get money with the more people you get. So as an employer, the more employees I have, the more money I have. So it's not the more time I have, it's the more people I have, the more money I'll have. I just got to take care of these people who work for me. But as long as I keep getting more people, I keep getting more money, and I don't have to spend any more time working. So if you feel like being hands-on, that's, be an employee or be a business owner who's hands-on. Otherwise, if you don't want those constraints, then you don't want to be an employee. You will likely provide benefits to employees. These might include retirement plans. Retirement is after you're completely tired. They're going to pay you. Health plans, commuter benefits. Commuting is moving, getting to work, providing a car, and sick pay if you're sick. You will not give benefits to contractors. Independent contractors, you're not giving them benefits. You don't have any control over them. They're not your responsibility. Their responsibility is to complete the job. Your responsibility is to pay them. That's it. If you misclassify an employee as an independent contractor, there could be repercussions. The worker might have missed out on wages, and you wouldn't have withheld or paid taxes on the wages. You might owe back taxes and back wages and taxes, interest and penalties. You will be taxed whether you're an employee or an employer. But if you misclassify it, you could be in trouble with the Internal Revenue Service, which I'm not going there. I will go there with some of y'all later. The rest of y'all, it's a lot for you. But anyway, this is who is an employee. I want you to go ahead and hopefully this was helpful. I know it was a mouthful. I know you're probably looking like him, like, what? And now you're looking at her like, what? And you're looking at her like, what? And that's what they're looking at you like. He's looking like, what? You think he's an employer or an employee? You think she's an employer or employee? You think she's an employer or employee? Do you think he's an employer or employee? Do you think that she's an employer or employee? Do you think that he's an employer or employee? Do you think that she is an employer or employee? Look at their face. Do they look like they're in control? Is it something that you need to think about? Until next time, remember, take your vitamins, read a book, drink some water, go to sleep early, make a new friend, and be good. And I'll see you on the next one.